I think she should come down and go, what are you doing? That's not even Lyanna's statue. That's Brandon the Fourth or whatever.
Dude, how funny would that be?
Was hot.
Ned's like bringing him different statues. Like, she looks so beautiful. Like, dude, gotcha. You were just jerking it.
Tell him
that's my dad, you idiot. Yeah. You know, rewatching this, of course, it's so funny to see Robert Baratheon being played by the lead of Still Standing.
Yeah.
Awesome sitcom, right? But he's great in the role for what they want him to do. But rewatching this, Robert is kind of a simp for Lyanna, and it's kind of cringe.
It is cringe, dude. I didn't want to think this. I thought this guy was pure alpha, walks up like, boy, get on your knees. But no, it actually had a little bit. He gets, and I said this to Don, okay? I laid this out explicitly for him earlier today, but I'll say it again. He had the chance to hang out with his one boy, Ned Stark. He says it in this. You're the last guy I can trust. You're my boy. You're my friend. Wouldn't you want to spend all your time just BSing with this guy, hanging out, partying with this dude? Instead, what does he do? He's like, hey, Ned, do you mind if we go down into the basement so I can jerk off in front of the statue of your dead sister who left me for another man while I'm married to actually a super attractive woman who is having sex with her brother? I guess, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's like,
this is a statue we're looking at, too. It's not like there's much there for you to, like, get some.
What are you working with? Like, Simp Patrol, you're under arrest, Robert Baratheon, first of his name.
And he's bad casting, especially like the more this goes along, the worse casting I think he is, because you give the show less credit because how it ends. And he really just, what were they thinking? Isn't he supposed to be like 6'6" or something like that? And just this beast of a man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he is. I actually love the casting, but they could have at least, done some like camera tricks to make him tall, because the fact that he needed to have a little step stool to get off his horse, I think that's a little bit of a strange move coming from this guy with these legendary war stories. I think the casting was good, but it's the height that I do have a problem with.
Yeah, and also I have an issue with Ned not like being a bro and telling Robert, I should say, that, hey, yo, my sister kind of had a thing for somebody else, so you should probably forget about her instead of just having this like happy memory. That's kind of, I don't know. I feel like Ned should kind of break this simp spell Lyanna has on Robert. What do you guys think?
You think now he should do it, or is it like, do you think it's too
late?
It's
too late now. Yes, it's too late now, but he should have done a while back. Because what's the worst thing going to happen? If he's like, actually, I guess they're in love this whole time. And he's like, oh, this whole rebellion was a lie. And you're like, yeah, what are we going to do? You already killed the Mad King. Like, I guess you just sit on the throne regardless.
See, I don't know if it's really too late. Like, if I was in Ned's position and I saw the kind of shit that he's doing down here, I might not be able to help myself. Be like, listen, man, I love you. You're my boy. But my sister, man, she was into blondes. You know what I mean? Like, she was into skinny blondes, wasn't your type. I would give him the full rundown, I think. It's Robert. This is the guy that you trust. Unless he doesn't really trust Robert. It's kind of hard to say. I don't think it's too late. I think Ned should have told him.
I think she should come down and go, what are you doing? That's not even Lyanna's statue. That's Brandon the Fourth or whatever.
Dude, how funny would that be?
Was hot.
How funny. Ned's like bringing him different statues. Like, she looks so beautiful. Like, dude, gotcha. You were just like jerking it.
Tell him
that's my dad, you idiot.
Brand the Builder.
Yeah.
Too real.
Yeah. And what makes it even more like frustrating, I guess, as some person, you're like, why isn't he just like smashing Cersei? Which, I mean, she's great looking, but we also have this moment where Robert is in like the big feast that they're having here at Winterfell. Yes. And the women, he's the king of Westeros. He's not like some like high lord or something. Look at the women he has around it. Like, look at her.
He's loving it. He's loving
First off, he's loving the ale, but then later on it gets even more into it. And I'm like, Robert, I think he's just like a Tiggo Bitties guy. That's all that matters to him.
I think it's Tiggo Bitties guy. I think he likes the thickness. But you know what? I'm actually going to defend Robert a little bit here because listen, if you're with a girl and if she's acting like Cersei, a total bitch, and she's super hot, you know that she's not with you because she thinks you're good looking. Like, this is purely a monetary or status move. I don't blame him for getting with reading the room and being like, I'm going to get with my own kind. Like somebody who's stacks up like, okay, I'm a 5, she's a 5, let's get it, right? I think that's actually kind of a reasonable move, especially when you're constantly with this super attractive girl. You don't deserve her, at least not physically. So I kind of think this is therapeutic for him. What I do think is ridiculous, though, and I don't know if we'll go into this later, I think we will, the fact that Cersei views this, she's watching this happen, and she's like disgusted by like shaking her head like, you motherfucker, how dare you do this? It's like, how many hours from now, or how many hours ago did you have your brother deep inside you? begging for
I
more
know.
and more and more. Like, are you serious, man? Come on.
The moral high ground somehow Cersei tries to find herself on is so ridiculous. Like you just said, yeah, she's smashing her brother, had 3 children of her brothers, and pretends that like my husband is just this, whore, and he's making me look bad. It's like, come on, lady, come on.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Real quick, we got some chat here. They said Pete sleeps. Yep, that's correct. Jaina said there. Nosferatu. Robert isn't cringe. He's a man and loved her, and he
he compensates by getting more ass than a toilet seat. Yeah, that is true on that one. He's morbidly obese and gets consistent tens. Yeah, I mean, listen though, it doesn't really count if it's a status thing. It's like,
well, hold on.
I'm not seeing a 10.
Well, I was thinking Nosferatu. Well, first off, Nosferatu, if you think this is a 10, my guy, go seek medical attention.
Yeah, get your eyes checked.
He likes them juicy. Maybe that's why. Maybe for Nos, that's a 10 because she's so extra.
Well, maybe he's just so done with having the 10s that he's like, I'm gonna scrape the bottom of the barrel because that's just the only thing that gets it up now. Like he has to like get his freak on.
Oh, he's like desensitized to like normal attractive features. So yes, has to degenerate further. Yeah, maybe that's definitely possible.
Joseph Dredd says, just like Bill Clinton, Robert B likes them chunky.
Yeah, except it's consensual with Robert. Bush says he's supposed to be massive. Yeah, he is supposed to be absolutely enormous. 6'6", swings a hammer around his head like a churro that Ned Stark can't even lift off the ground. I want to see that guy.
Yep.
And then I think we have one more. Yeah, and then Nosferatu says here.
Oh yeah, the Kit Harington was bad casting too. John is a big dude in the books. Yeah, I don't think that Robert is bad casting, and I do think Kit Harington is kind of a pretty boy or whatever. But I don't think neither one of them are really bad casting. If anything, Kit Harington's bad casting because he's so old. I think Jon Snow's supposed to be 14 at this time in the book, so.
Right. Well, I think one thing this series does is they have great, for the most part, great actors. Maybe they don't look physically like the roles they're supposed to be in the books, but because they're such a great portrayal of this like overall character, you buy into this performance versus sometimes, and this is only sometimes, in other series, they look like them, but they're bad actors. And then other times they look nothing like them. This is what we're seeing out of Rings of Power and The Witcher. They look nothing really like who they're supposed to, and they're giving a bad performance. So it's like a double negative. So as much as this is a negative, and him not looking exactly like Robert, I like this as the alternative.
So do I. Yeah.
He's not. I like the actor. He's fine. It's just when you think about Robert being taken down by a boar and how much alcohol it took for him to be so sloppy that he could lose that battle. In the books, it sounds like, oh yeah, I guess it would take that much. But this guy, I would bet on the boar. Like first time, clean, stone sober. Like this guy's gonna. Of course, he's gonna lose to the boar.
Yeah, fair point.
And Jon Snow, by the end, this does fit Kit Harington because he's such a simp that like the role morphs towards him. So he's in the book, he is a bigger dude, but in this show, he becomes a smaller dude the longer the story goes on for.